So if we look at the right hand being lower than the left hand on the club, therefore the right shoulder is going to be a little lower than the left shoulder. This means because the spine goes from the back of the head all the way down to your tailbone, this means that your right hip will be slightly lower than your left hip. And you'll feel how, you should feel like, imagine there's a little water in your right ear, and you're letting that water out, you'll feel the right ear lower than the left ear. So now we've got a spine tilt that's properly set all the way down from the back of the head to my tailbone. The purpose of this is to use the head to apply pressure to the left side, especially in that downswing. This is what's going to give you that powerful through the ball effect. Just like when we're skipping stones on water, head's tilted, it allows me, the elbow leads the hand leads the fingers. There's your power sequence. In baseball, elbow leads the hand leads the fingers. That's where you get those powerful, effortless throws. So in order for that elbow to come in first, we must have a proper tilt. This is the power sequence. It's going to allow us to get through that golf ball and towards the target, maximizing that all-important lag that all of you out there are searching for, making sure that we've got this amazing sequence of hands, club head, delayed as deep as possible into the downswing. Well, if you lose that tilt, if I'm coming in to skip the stone on water and I lose that tilt, if I tilt forward, you'll notice now that my elbow is now behind my hand and I've delivered the power already. So I'm going to have a tendency to throw that ball straight into the water and it will not have that beautiful skip. So it's the same thing here with the golf club. I brace my tilt. The tilt, imagine I have from the top of my head here, if you were to push directly down through the top of my head, the center of my head, the pressure would go straight into the inside of my left ankle. I have properly braced my tilt. And then my right side is supporting my head, being a little bit more behind the ball. So the right side supports the head, and the left side supports the tailbone. Now I've got a properly distributed axis. So from here, I can deliver the club with incredible power because of that sequence, and it's all effortless. So what I want to feel in the backswing, most of you getting into this setup position will feel the tendency to bring the club way too far inside. So if I tilt, you'll notice now how my position looks like I'm going to the right of the target. It's not going to if I take my club back on the proper line. So from there I want to feel like everything is levitating up the center of my chest, back down through the golf ball. If I bring it too far inside, now I'll have the tendency to move the head forward just to bring my arms back around. And that's a tendency that my buddy Neil here has a tendency of doing. So in this setup position, your feet are parallel to your target line. You get into that stacked tilt, it'll look like you're going to the right of the target. And if I swing the club back and through without stopping, you'll notice, just like a stone at the end of a string, the club gets redirected back around down the target line. If I tilt my head forward, however, now I'm seriously going across the golf ball, pulling it left, slicing it right, deep divots, you name it. The list goes on and on. So if I maintain that nice tilt in my backswing, it's going to feel like your arms are levitating straight up your chest. But as you can see, it doesn't look like a lot of arm lift, does it? So I'm using, if you go to the takeaway video, I'm using the turn of my hips, the turn of the butt, like in the catapult power video. Use the turn of the butt to toss my arms up. So it's a swivel up. Let the arms fall through that skip towards the target. Swivel up. Fall through the skip. Do that again for you. toss it up, fall through the skip. Those shots are tracking extremely straight, great spin on the ball, and I don't know if it's the weather today, but these 7-irons are going about 190 right now. So there's a tremendous amount of power being stored in there without me having to think about it. It just feels from this position here like I can get the golf club through the ball effortlessly. Whereas if I change that spine angle on the way down, you've noticed now I have to deliver my power early because I'm way out in front of the ball. Now, another good student of mine was asking, well, what happens, like in the Hogan power move, when you return that hip back to the window using that leverage, it'll force that center forward. Well, it's actually only the lower part. Because you'll notice if you look at some slowed down footage of a lot of your favorite tour pros, you'll notice that there's a lot more tilt at impact than there is at address. And this is necessary because we are moving from the inside of the right to the inside of the left. The spine is separated into two hip joints. So there's a slight lateral move of the lower body in the downswing, but the head stays behind the ball. And what this does is allows a little more momentum to be moving forward through the golf ball without my head moving out in front of it. Deepens the tilt a little bit, and that's what gives the illusion of the arms falling a little behind you. And then that allows for even more through the ball effect. Okay? So if I were to emphasize that a little bit more, if I move a little too much, I'll have a tendency to push it to the right. If I spin out, I'll have a tendency to pull it to the left. If I've got proper leverage and proper brace, head staying back, braced inside that left foot, then I'll have just a terrific ball flight and very diminished spray angle. So the way you refine this, if you go back to on the slopes, you'll feel on the downhill lie, you'll feel great brace. On the uphill lie, you'll feel great leverage. In both cases, especially the uphill lie, that spine angle is very important to maintain. Okay? If I move the spine angle forward, I'll have a tendency to go straight into the slope. And on the downswing, on the downslope, if my head moves forward, I'll fall down the slope. So I hope this was informative to you. Now, please don't hesitate to send me some questions, all right? If there's something that you didn't understand. Until next time, I'm Shawn Clement.